What I want to be able to share with you today are a few things that I know have helped me along my journey. Right? The journey of an entrepreneur is an incredible one, and it's not something most people want to endure. Right? Only an entrepreneur would completely ignore that the success ratio of their business actually being profitable is about 20%. We completely ignore that. Instead, we throw ourselves passionately into our work, knowing that if we work hard and we can make it, we will have the opportunity to do great things. We often trade dollars for hours. We trade security for freedom, and the structure of working 9 to 5 for working 24/7. And yet, if you ask most entrepreneurs if they would change what they do, they would say no. They would say that it's one of the most amazing experiences that they could have. They would say that it will stretch you, it will make you a better person, and you will grow. And the best part is, if your business is successful, truly successful, and it can be, you have the opportunity to make a change in the world for better. It's right in your grasp. And without entrepreneurs and women like you, we would not have J.K. Rowling's and Harry Potter. We would not have Ariana Huffington and the Huffington Post, and we would not have Sarah Blakely and Spanx. And thank God for Spanx. All right? And ladies, the one thing that I want to convey to you, and gentlemen as well, because we need you to support us, is that you are no different than any of those ladies. The things that make you unique and that make them unique are that you are game changers. You are the ones that think out of the box. You take big risks. You have huge goals. You have amazing visions. And you are the ones that will change the world. So despite what the statistics say, what I want you to know is that incredible success is right there for you. And the reason why I know this is because of the work I do. My clients hire me to help them implement strategies that will allow them to double and triple their revenue. I get to teach them how to lead and work on their business, not just work in it and go to a place of exhaustion with no results. And I know of the thousands of entrepreneurs whose lives I've touched right now, I know that it's not their success that makes them amazing. It's not the part that, it's not the excuse me, I just had a brain moment. Yeah. It's not how they serve, it's not the product that they produce, it's not their business savvy. It is not whether or not they're amazing at sales or whether or not they know their numbers, and you do need to know your numbers, that creates success. What creates success is the game that you're playing in your head. So with that in mind, what I'd love to be able to share, and what I ask for you, is to make 3 commitments in your business and in your life. Is that okay? Can I do that? Awesome. The first commitment that I want you to make is to stand grounded in your dream. Every day, take a few minutes to visualize what it is that you want, what it is that you want to experience, and who you want to touch. This will help you get through the dark days. And I will tell you, regardless of how much positivity and whatever it is that happens, there will be days when things don't work. It's happened. I know it's happened to me. One of my most challenging moments was back in 2009. I had been catering, I'd been personal chefing, and I had decided I would open a farm-to-table restaurant. It was right after the financial markets had crashed, and you couldn't buy a business loan if you wanted to. That didn't stop me, because I had my dream and my purpose, and I wanted people to feel good. I was so passionate, so I did all the research. I was like, I can open a restaurant, no problem, right? I figured out how to do financial forecasts for 5 years. I had a dissertation-length business plan, and I started going to networking groups, without having a clue of what a 30-second commercial was. Right? I was so excited, and I knew I needed to get funding, so I figured I would pitch a couple banks. And a couple nights before I went to my first bank, I shared with my dad my business plan. He'd been in corporate forever, he was very business savvy, and he, I thought, would be very supportive. He gave me my business plan back with a lot of red written in it. And he shared with me that he thought I was crazy. I could lose everything. I was like, so? He's like, how did I know that the numbers that I had come up with were right? And by the way, there were a few commas that I was missing. As a side note, I still don't put commas in anything I write. Right? Deflated, I redid all of my business numbers. I checked everything, and I added the commas. Right? I sat quaking in front of the first bank. I wish I had an opportunity like this to find out how to pitch, because I had absolutely no clue what I was supposed to be doing or what they really wanted to hear. That first bank said I did a great job, though, and they thought I had a great plan, but they gave me a resounding and a very generous no. I decided to keep going. I pitched 5 other banks. They all said no. I was deflated, I was upset, and I have to say I wanted to quit, but I was so grounded in my clarity of that I wanted to be able to help people. I found myself one day running on the track instead of being at my kid's baseball game, which I never ever missed. And for about an hour, I ran and ran circles on that track, like a drill sergeant singing cadence to his recruits. The only thing that was going through my head was, I can make this happen, I can make this happen, I can make this happen. And by the time I was done running, I not only was exhausted, but I knew without a doubt that I could actually make it happen. I had no clue how. I just knew that it was going to happen. And a funny thing happened a couple of days later. That first bank called me back, out of nowhere. They wanted me to come in. They wanted to talk to me. They had been thinking about my plan, and they knew how detailed it was. I found a few investors, one of whom happened to be my dad, who admitted to me that his own aversion to risk and his desire to keep me safe was part of why he responded so negatively. And because he realized that, he wanted to be one of my supports. I was back in business at that point. I was so excited because the one thing that was really stopping me, I overcame, and I made miracles. I want you to know that when you're really clear about what it is that you want, you too can make miracles. It's amazing what happens and what comes into you when you're determined. So ladies, don't give up, ever, on your dream. The second piece that I want you to make a commitment to is to create a life team. Some of you have heard me talk about this. This is finding a few people who are like-minded and can support you, because sometimes, like me, you may not have friends or family who share your dream. They may think that you're crazy. My life team consists of my accountant, my financial advisor, Mackenzie Frankel, my kids, who more than once have told me to get my ass back out there and go make it happen. And I keep telling them working them 9 to 5 would be so much easier. And they're like, no, just go do it. The other part of my life team are a few girlfriends who make sure I actually have a social life, and my accountability partners. My accountability partners and I get together once a week virtually, and we share our challenges and our goals and what's happening in our lives, and we help each other stay on track. Each one of us has had breakdowns and breakthroughs, but that support has been incredible in helping keeping us really moving on the up and up instead of falling into the self-doubt and the chaos. It's so easy, right? And that's part of what's led me to create a membership community for entrepreneurs called the Tribe of Leaders. It's an amazing place where training, mentorship, and support happens. And as my friend Tani has said, when women stand together in their power, we can make the impossible possible. So I ask you every day, stand in your dream and make the impossible possible. The last part that I'm going to ask you to commit to is to acknowledge and celebrate every gift that you have. It is so easy. It is so easy to just stop because the fear and the stories that we all have going on in our heads create limitations. And it's up to you to create those possibilities. And you all know what the stories are. I'm too old to start that. There's no way I can sell anything. Who would want to buy from me? Are my jeans too tight? Did I do, the wrong thing? Did I say the wrong thing? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, with that, what I'd like to share with you too is that in the book Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg talks about how men, when they apply for a job, will apply if they have 30% of the requirements. Women, on the other hand, have to have 100% of the requirements before they will apply. Ladies, every time you acknowledge who you are and everything that you have to give, I want you to start throwing your hat in at 30%. You'll have so many more opportunities come to you. And I can share that one of my clients that I worked with, she was a photographer, is a photographer, and she came to me because she wasn't really bringing in the revenue that she wanted. She wasn't signing clients. And the thing that we worked on was her mindset. When she realized what her value was, and that not only that the photos that she was taking was completely different, but the experience that she was offering her clients was different than any of her competitors, she literally came to me 2 weeks later and said, I have not only filled my book of business, but I have a waiting list. I've filled my book for the next 4 months, and I just raised my rates. That's how powerful what's in your head can shift for you. So with that, what I would like, again, for you to commit to is stand in your power, create a life team, acknowledge your gifts. Your success really is up to you. Despite what the statistics are with business success and failure, you can blow them out of the water when you have that clarity. And what I'd like to remind you, too, is that success is not about what money you're making or how much. It's not really even about the impact you make or the people that you help. Success is about whether or not you are being fully expressed and whether you are fulfilled. Thank you.